Hello everyone, this is Hilde Larsen back from nature, and I'm standing right in the middle of the Doom that I just showed you a little clip about. It's called the Doom. It's in Norway, it's not very well known, and also called the Small Stonehenge. Nobody knows exactly what it's been used for, but it does have an offering table in the middle, and we can only imagine what was going on. I thought this was a perfect place to come to talk about this topic, because going into the woods and looking at these old ancient traditions, I can feel everything that we're carrying as species, everything that's been going on, and I can feel the need for forgiveness. You know, not only in our own lives, but also healing the earth and putting it back into nature. And remember this might seem a little, far out for some of you, but when you heal yourself, you're healing your whole lifeline. You're healing your whole family. You're healing your past and your future. See, this is not just about the now that you perceive as the now. It's about the bigger now that holds everything, absolutely everything. So I wanted to talk about forgiveness. I could never not talk about detoxification and regeneration and spiritual growth and awakening and awareness and consciousness and love and peace and compassion. But I believe that forgiveness is one of the greater languages of the universe that actually catalyzes everything that you or we or us perceive as growth and expansion and amazing experiences. So let's get back to what we experience in our lives right now. And I see a lot of unforgiveness. And what does it look like? Well, do you know that most of the time when we walk around thinking we forgave someone, we didn't? Or we might even walk around not even thinking that there was anything to forgive. Or we're stuck in the perception that forgiving someone is doing them a favor, or that it's letting them off the hook, that they no longer are accountable, or that there is no karma, or that you're saying what happened was okay. On another level, everything's okay. That's another story, but now I'm more into what you might be going through where you are right now, walking towards health. Because if you're watching this video, I guess that there's something you want to change, or there's something in your experience that you would like to uplift or to do better on. You might be so sick that you're not working or playing or having fun, or you might be stuck in a depressed state or an anxious state and you don't know how to get out of it. And I tell you, start with forgiveness. Always start with forgiveness. And although we most often point towards forgiving others, and that's where I started talking to you about right now, but it always leads back to ourselves, forgiving ourselves. It's the hardest person to forgive, you, by you, okay? So what is forgiveness really? Well, I look at it this way. Forgiveness is putting back the accountability and the energy to where it actually belongs, because it's not yours. Okay? And forgiveness is just letting go of someone else's throat. Or forgiveness is just setting yourself free from letting that energy, which could be a person, it could be an act that happened, it could be a situation, it could be the feeling of betrayal, most often it is, and hurt, definitely in trauma. But once you're connected to that through not forgiving, it's still hurting you. Every single day it's hurting you. I've talked earlier about the very low-grade stress, the very low-grade inflammation. And not only that, it's blocking your whole flow of chi and energy. So your soul is trying to show you to let go while you're holding on, because you're looking at someone else's act saying, this is not right, so I'm not gonna let this hurt me. Well, it's time to let that go, because it's like a parasite. It will feed off of you for as long as you let it. And as long as you have the environment, and then you can invite that in, and more of it. So the environment within you is not only that of a clean slate when it comes to your colon, you know, what you eat, what you detoxify out of you is always also in your head. It's in your mental state. It's in your heart, your emotions. It's all part of you. It's all part of your physical body, actually. When you think about your chakras as your glands, you'll see how connected they are. And when we know that feelings are connected with those same glands, we see even more how important it is to see the whole picture, the whole circle of life. We need to forgive everything. And we need to get to the place where there's nothing to forgive. That's the next step up, because there really isn't nothing to forgive. Everybody's doing the best that they can with what they have at the moment that they're doing it. Everybody. So, how do you start? And how do you figure out if this is something that's actually holding you back? Well, I will start by getting a journal, a clean journal, and I will write down a little something about every person that is in my life. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a partner, it could be a friend, it could be an old teacher, it could be a new teacher, it could be anyone in your reality that you feel connected to in some way. But you know, most of the time, this person's gonna pop up for you, or those people are gonna pop up for you once you start sitting down with a journal and thinking, oh, who do I need to forgive? Well, some names are gonna come up for most of you. But if not, just write down a little something about everyone and see what feelings that contribute, you know, in you. What arises? What does it tell you? Once you find something that irritates you, something that you're holding on to, like a bitterness, like, oh, I couldn't forgive him because he never made amends, or he never said even that I'm sorry. It's like we're waiting for them to do something, holding on to the hurt. Well, they're not. See? When you're not forgiving, you're the one hurting, not the one that you're not forgiving. They might not even, you know, think about this at all. And I know some things are large, they're huge, they're life-changing. But think about it, the larger it is, the larger the situation, the more pain you're feeling, the grander the lesson, and the more positive and amazing experience you're going to have from letting it go. I've talked about this before also. I see it with my clients. The more we work with a clean food, let go of everything around you that's so obvious that you can't have it within you. You know, that's obviously hurting you. These things come up because your body will show you, hey, there's more. Look at me. Look at me. This is hurting me. It might not be your fault, but it's still hurting you. Okay, so write everything down, and once you get to that point where you have a clear picture saying, oh my God, all these four people or these four situations, I need to clear this from my energy field. I really need to forgive. I really need to forgive with my heart. Then you can sit down and start doing some exercises to let that go. Some might have to do it over, you know, because we attach to these situations, and it's like we're addicted to the energy that it gives us, because it makes us right? It's like a self-sabotage. You can tell yourself you're entitled to, but you're also entitled to be happy and healthy. You see, that's what you're really entitled to. Everything else, you're just bullshitting yourself into believing that there's any reason not to. Again, back to that. This is another reason that people will use or hide behind or sabotage themselves with, thinking they could never forgive that. It could be abuse, terrible abuse. How could you forgive that? Well, think about it this way. Forgiving is for you. It's setting yourself free, clearing your own heart, making it open and ready and clean so that you can play and contribute and serve. It's hard to serve others. It's hard to be the best version of you when you're holding on to something that is keeping your energy down and not flowing. Okay? So once you get to that point, you can go in my book, it's the Know the Truth and Get Healthy. I have exercises that for letting go and forgiving. But one, for example, is visualizing yourself with this other person that you need to forgive. Okay, so you're standing opposite each other and you can see you have all these strings attached. Just visualize that. See if you can find strings. It could be like stomach to stomach, chest to chest, forehead to forehead, throat to throat. Usually actually from the chakras. When you see that, just visualize them gone. Visualize that you're cutting the cords, you're freeing yourself from that whole energy attaching you to this person or this situation. If you see a situation, you see most of the time we find people that we link to situations even. Just use the same technique. Then you just bless everything and let it go. And then just do it again until you feel it gets easier and easier and easier. And then all of a sudden, you'll feel it. You'll feel much more free. And the way that I have seen that will tell me if something is truly forgiven or if I'm detached from someone else's energy is that you can meet them, you can speak to them, and there will not be an energy exchange. You will not lose your emotions into that person or that old situation. Okay? So being outside in nature, the more you do this, like I do, the more you will be reminded. Because in nature, everything is so simple. There is no holding on to anything. Everything is let go of. Every season, every winter, none of these are green. Yet every spring it pops right back up. It's not holding on to anything from the year before. It just keeps on growing towards the light, and it keeps on expanding. And there's always change and always expansion, and that's another thing. Once you hold on to anything, and especially if you're not forgiving, you're holding on to your cocoon in a way that you will not expand in any direction. It's like a knot. It's like a tumor within you. It just keeps growing within you, but it's not entangled. It's not going to entangle your health. It's not going to lift your energy. And another way to look at it is this. Are you going to let that situation or that person dictate how you feel? How your life is? Of course not. So this is my challenge to you in this short little video, to look at the situations in your life and see, is there anyone or anything I can forgive right now, today, to set myself free so that I can have focus towards what is important to me and my family, and that is love and compassion. How can I live more compassionately on this earth? How can we heal? And we don't even know what this has been, but if this has been old offerings, a lot of fear has been present here. But also, this could have been a place of celebration. People lived close to nature. Before we thought that we were so clever and so smart, we were going to electronize everything. We were going to scientifically break everything apart and see if we could outsmart nature. Now, this is what I see. This is why I do what I do. This is how I healed from being terribly ill, filled up with so many medications. In and out of the hospitals. I was in bed for several years. I couldn't even open my jaw. I was so inflamed. I would rather be dead than live another day. Seriously, I would rather be dead. This is society. This is what so many of us are experiencing as a result of what we have been doing. This is us, humans, This is us doing. So let's all start untangling what we have tangled ourselves into. And forgiveness is a great one, because it also shows humbleness towards creation. And it also shows that you can be the bigger man, that you can rise in trust, that you can use trust and faith in nature. And you should see the food that's out here that most people don't even know about. Walking over here today, I walked to, I passed some dandelions. They were more than a foot long, or high, or big. It's amazing. It's all out here. So my challenge for you today is take off your shoes, like I always do. Take a walk around. You might not find something as magical as this. I will sit down and I'll meditate. And I'll let you know. So if you like these videos, and if you have any idea what you'd like me to talk about, just write me a comment below. Like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, and I really, really, really honor you for watching, because together we can do this. Together we can lift the energy on this earth to the point where we can all live in health. We can all live in health. We deserve that. That is my passion and mission. That is why I'm here. That is why I made the Optimal Health Blueprint course. That is why I have my membership. That is why I'm putting all of this out there, so that you do not have to live through the hell that I did, and so that you can educate yourself and see so clearly how simple this is. All we have to do is just step back and allow. Okay, I honor you. Namaste. See you soon.